The bridal trend everyone's copying, Princess Leonor's Lavished Royal Dress 2025. She was meant to symbolize tradition. But what she created was transformation. Princess Leonor, Spain's future queen, stepped into her 2025 royal wedding in Denmark wearing the dress that would define a generation. One gown, one moment, and suddenly, every bride in the world wanted to look like her. The cameras flashed, the crowd gasped. And within minutes, the Leonor look became the most searched fashion phrase of the year. This wasn't just a royal wedding. It was the beginning of a bridal revolution. So what made this dress so special? Why did it leave designers speechless? And how did a 19-year-old princess set a new global standard for elegance, femininity, and modern royalty? Let's step inside the story. The morning of the wedding was nothing short of cinematic. The streets of Copenhagen were lined with Spanish flags and Danish hearts. Every window reflected anticipation, because the world was waiting to see what the future Queen of Spain would wear. Leonor, calm yet radiant, prepared in silence surrounded by her mother, Queen Letizia, and her younger sister, Infanta Sofia. The atmosphere was a mix of emotion, pride, and disbelief. The girl Spain had watched grow up was now walking into history. And then, the first reveal. As Leonor stepped into the light, the gown took everyone's breath away. An ivory masterpiece, handcrafted by Spain's most celebrated designer, it combined the minimalism of Danish design with the regal detail of Spanish couture. No sparkle, no heavy jewels, just pure, sculpted perfection. The bodice was structured yet soft, a balance between youth and power. The sleeves extended gracefully, embroidered with patterns inspired by Queen Isabella's coronation robes. And the train, 12 feet long, carried handwoven silk from Granada, representing Spain's heritage of art and craftsmanship. It wasn't loud, it wasn't flashy, it was timeless. But the genius of the gown wasn't just in how it looked. It was in what it symbolized. For years, royal brides had followed predictable trends: lace, tiaras, cathedral veils. Leonor broke that mold. Her veil, whisper light and detachable. Her jewelry, a subtle tribute, pearl earrings worn by her mother at her own wedding. Her tiara, the floral motif tiara, simple yet symbolic, representing unity between Spain and Denmark. Fashion critics called it the rebirth of royal minimalism. Designers from Milan to Paris began referencing Leonor's silhouette. Within 48 hours, replicas appeared on couture sketches. And by the end of the month, over 2 million brides to be across Europe had pinned Princess Leonor wedding dress to their vision boards. The dress had gone viral. But behind that elegance was something deeper, a young woman redefining what royalty means. Because Leonor's choice wasn't just about fashion, it was about message. She chose a Spanish designer, a nod to her homeland's talent. She requested sustainable fabrics, an homage to her generation's values. And she refused any embellishment that didn't carry meaning. Every stitch was intentional. Every detail told a story. Even the embroidery inside the gown, unseen by cameras, bore the initials, L and C, surrounded by olive branches, symbolizing peace and unity between Spain and Denmark. A secret, intimate touch between her and her husband, Prince Christian of Denmark. As she entered Frederiksberg Castle, the entire hall fell silent. The golden ceilings reflected her glow. The sound of the orchestra softened as she walked past rows of royals, diplomats, and family, each one watching the dawn of a new era unfold before them. When she reached the altar, Christian's expression said it all: admiration, pride. Ah, this wasn't just his bride. This was a queen in the making. After the ceremony, as Leonor emerged into the courtyard, sunlight kissed the fabric of her gown, turning it almost ethereal. The crowd erupted. Children waved Spanish and Danish flags, shouting her name. Reporters described it as a royal moment that felt human. And that was the key. Leonor's dress didn't just impress. It connected. It made royalty feel accessible again, elegant, but not untouchable. Hours later, during the royal reception, the second look made headlines again. Leonor changed into a sleek, champagne-toned evening gown, still crafted by the same designer. It was understated yet magnetic, a quiet echo of her earlier majesty. Once again, simplicity stole the show. By midnight, the global fashion industry had its verdict. Princess Leonor just reset bridal design for the next decade. Bridal houses across the world began redesigning collections inspired by her restraint, simplicity over spectacle, emotion over excess. In Spain, her designer's atelier became a pilgrimage site for aspiring brides. In the UK, magazines compared her elegance to Princess Diana's timeless grace. In the US, fashion editors crowned her the new face of royal sophistication. Even the biggest fashion icons, from Kate Middleton to Queen Maxima, praised the balance of tradition and modern confidence in Leonor's style. And as global brands rushed to adapt her look, one thing became clear. The Leonor effect wasn't just a trend. It was a turning point. Because for the first time in decades, a royal bride had created something both royal and relatable. A symbol of youth, heritage, and humility, wrapped in silk and history. But behind the applause, whispers of rivalry emerged. Some critics noted how Queen Letitia's influence shaped Leonor's fashion choices, her precision, her discipline, her perfectionism. Others speculated about the subtle competition between Spanish and Danish traditions during the ceremony. Yet despite all that noise, Leonor stayed poised, gracious, and authentic. Weeks after the wedding, international magazines featured her gown on their covers. Design schools analyzed its composition. Bridal boutiques launched, Leonor-inspired collections, minimalist lines, sustainable fabrics, regal cuts. Even Hollywood brides began asking for similar designs. The wedding dress had evolved from a royal statement to a worldwide movement. A symbol of everything modern brides aspire to be: elegant, confident, and unapologetically themselves. And that's the true power of Princess Leonor's 2025 wedding. She didn't just wear a dress. She defined an era. Today, when brides look for inspiration, they're not chasing excess. They're chasing grace. They're chasing emotion. They're chasing Leonor. Because in a world obsessed with extravagance, one princess reminded us that the truest luxury is simplicity, worn with heart. Her wedding wasn't just a royal event. It was a cultural reset. A reminder that elegance, when honest, never fades. And so, as the world continues to imitate her style, one truth remains undeniable. The bridal trend everyone's copying started with a princess who dared to be different. Princess Leonor of Spain. The royal who turned a gown into a legacy. The bride who made history by being herself.